Building trust and establishing trust with your clients is imperative. And if you are having difficulties doing that, establishing that trust, or if you are looking for ways to improve the trust in your relationships or accelerate the rate at which you establish trust in your client relationships, this video is for you. For those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Danny Gould. I'm the CEO of the Selling Silicon Valley Group, as well as Legendary Agents. Over the last 8 years, I've sold well over $200 million worth of residential real estate here in the San Francisco Bay Area. And trust has been a topic that I have discussed with my team for ever. I mean, it basically was one of the first lessons that I learned in real estate is that, like, yeah, you can be a great salesperson, but if they don't trust you, then it's going to be really difficult for you to make sales. You know, I think when we were kids, we saw these movies where you had all of these non-trustworthy salespeople.
Daddy, that's cheating.
Of course it's cheating. Nobody ever got rich being honest.
Well, and I think over time, what happened was there used to be a time where people bought shit from people they didn't trust because they just didn't know any better. But I think the collective IQ of our society has risen to the point where people have an innate spidey sense and can snuff out the people that are not trustworthy. That's why you don't see a lot of bad players win anymore, honestly. And so the question becomes how do you establish that trust? How do you create that trusting relationship with your client? And so I'm going to provide you a framework that has worked really well for me in terms of being able to establish that trusting relationship with your client and ultimately, help move the needle forward for you. Have your client relationships keep moving forward. The first step of the framework is to lead with empathy. Now, when someone joins my organization, the first thing that I tell them, one of the first things I tell them is, empathy is one of our core values here at SSV. And the truth is that I can teach you everything. I can teach you all the sales skills. I can give you the infrastructure and the support and the training and the technology for you to go out there and sell a lot of homes. But the one thing that I can't teach you is how to have a heart. And so if you're not leading from a place of empathy and you're truly being selfish with the reasons that you are selling real estate, I honestly think that you should get out of the business. Now, what does leading with empathy mean though? Because it's one of those things where we say it, but what does that actually mean? Well, the first step in leading with empathy is asking a lot of questions and really understanding what is their real main reason and motivation for doing what they're doing. Why are they talking to you? And I think a lot of agents actually do this backwards. They do a lot of talking and don't allow the customer to talk that much. And that's actually one of the biggest ways to not earn someone's trust is to talk a lot and listen a little. If you want to immediately elevate your status with the client, try limiting the amount of words you say in any interaction to less than 10. I know that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but I'm really not joking. Really do your best to minimize the amount of words that you're saying, minimize the amount of statements that you're making, and just ask a lot of questions. One of the mistakes that I see a lot of agents make is they think they're leading with empathy by just letting the client go rogue and, I don't want to push them into doing anything. Well, the truth is that if you establish a good relationship at the beginning and you really get to know them at a deeper level at the beginning of the relationship, see, a lot of times in the emotional process of what it means to buy or sell a house, people get away from their true goals and their true motivations and their true ambition, and because fear takes them out of it. And so as a great salesperson, we can lead with empathy and still take them out of fear. And by taking them out of fear, we can inspire them into action. And so leading with empathy doesn't mean just letting them do whatever they want to do, whatever they feel like doing in that moment, but rather keeping them on track for their original goals and dreams and aspirations. By the way, the same thing could be said of a great coach, right? So as a great coach, as a great leader, because you are a coach and a leader in that relationship with them, leading with empathy can look like holding them accountable to the goals and dreams that they set forth for themselves at the beginning. And so leading with empathy doesn't mean be soft. It means get to know them and then help them achieve their goals. Now, the second and final part of this framework is actually something that most agents, especially at the beginning of their careers, have a very difficult time doing, which is disconnecting from the outcome. Far too often, especially at the beginning of our careers, we find ourselves in situations where we're coming from a place of scarcity. And that place of scarcity often leads us to develop what I like to call commission breath. And this commission breath, because it comes from a place of scarcity, will immediately erode the trust between you and the client. People know when your actions are self-serving. One of the best ways to actually improve the trust with your client is actually completely disconnect from the outcome. For example, when you're talking to a seller for the first time, by saying something along the lines of, hey, I don't know if we're going to be the right fit. And so one of the reasons I'm coming over, one of the reasons that we're having this conversation is because I want to make sure that this strategy works for you, because it doesn't work for everyone. And so just by saying that, you are already putting yourself in a different category, because most agents are saying you should work with me, pretty please, work with me. And it's but you're saying honestly, I don't know if we're going to be the right fit. I do think that it's important for us to get together and discuss the strategy and see if it would be a good fit, but we're not for everyone. And by saying that, you're actually like completely disconnecting from the outcome, and that actually elevates their trust. Or rather, it elevates their trust in you. The more desperate you come off for business, the less they're going to trust you. And so being able to find tactful ways to disconnect from the outcome at the beginning and throughout the relationship with your client, that's going to cause that client to trust you even more. Now, I have a whole slew of dialogues for buyers and sellers that help disconnect from the outcome. And if you'd like me to do a video on that topic, you can just comment down below, say like, just comment down below, like, I want more disconnection dialogue, because that is a whole like masterclass in and of itself. Like I could do a 30-minute video just on that topic. So that's it. It's a super simple framework. Lead with empathy and disconnect from the outcome. It's a framework that's worked for me, helped me sell hundreds of millions of dollars of real estate in probably the most competitive market in the country. And I hope it works for you too. If you've made it this far in the video and you're not yet subscribed, like what are you waiting for? Click the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, give us a thumbs up while you're at it. Helps me get in front of more awesome real estate agents like you. And it'll keep you updated every time I post a new video. That's it, everyone. I'm Danny Gould. I'll catch you all in the next video. Stay legendary, everybody.